Hey guys, how's it going? Justin Melson with Happy Fox Productions here, and today we're going to be looking at how to do some cloning effects similar to the hit movie that just came out, Jordan Peele's Us, which by the way, go watch it if you haven't, it's pretty good. But we're going to be looking at all the different ways you can do cloning effects, from the basics all the way to more intermediate and advanced effects. So there's a couple of ways you guys probably already know how to do it, which is doing, shooting a shot on a tripod, doing the split screen in Premiere or After Effects. And then there are ways you could do more advanced effects with rotoscoping and having your clones interact with each other. And then there's the super advanced ways, which we won't go into because I don't have this kind of equipment, where you can get like a Kessler dolly, a motion control dolly that repeats the same camera movements over and over. Then you could have your actor do all the different movements and then kind of composite it all together in Nuke or After Effects. I've done a plethora of tutorials on YouTube on how to do cloning, but this video is just going to be an overall compilation on everything. So if you guys are interested in doing cloning effects, this is the video for you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Now, the first way you can go about doing this is obviously just doing the simple split screen effect. All you need to do is set your camera up on a tripod, and once you have it set up on a tripod, you don't want to move it, and then you get your actor in your A spot, and then you get your actor in your B spot, and then you just do the split screen down the middle, and you're pretty much good to go. Just make sure that your actor's movements are timed up accurately with each other, and it is as easy as that. Now, you could easily go about adding some camera movement in there, some two-dimensional camera movement, by adding a wiggle expression in After Effects, or by what I like to do is shoot camera shake on set, motion track that camera data, and then extrapolate that and put that into the scene so you have more realistic camera shake. Another way that I like to go about doing it, for another advanced way to do it, is just pure rotoscoping. I used to make a lot of clone videos when I was younger, and I had a lot of free time back then, and I didn't own a green screen, so I would just spend my days rotoscoping away doing fight scenes. Fight! And this isn't the most fun way to do it, but I do enjoy doing this because you can just put on some Spotify, some music, and just start rotoing away. And the tricky thing is lining up your movements, making sure that you don't overlap the other actor, and et cetera, et cetera. But it is a very time-consuming process to do it this way, but the results are really good. And in the movie Us, I'm sure there are various ways they did it. A lot of ways with green screen and blue screen, and a lot of ways where they just have to do a lot of rotoscoping, but then you have visual effects houses where they send that work out to people overseas and they could just roto it and get the perfect matte, and Jordan Peele doesn't have to worry about that. You might have to worry about it, but he doesn't. So, but there's different ways on how to go about doing that. So without further ado, I'm gonna give you guys a little snippet of an older tutorial that I did that kind of goes into how I did that. If you wanna watch the full tutorial, the link will be in the description below.
I know you, Vladimir. Not the killing type. Never were.
Maybe I should, comrade. You just killed that cop back there, man. He was a wild stallion. He had 16 kids. I have to take you in, or else my boss will go crazy. But I'm confused. How am I a criminal and a cop? Well, I'm Russian, so I guess it kind of makes sense.
Alrighty, so as you could see, that was a cloning effect. That was two actors. That was this guy, and he does not have a twin, just to clarify that. So that was completely done within After Effects, and we did not use a green screen or blue screen or anything, although that sounds cool, like, yo, yeah, we didn't even use a green screen, but in hindsight, we should have, because that's going to save us a whole lot of work. But so first, to start off, just to talk a bit about how we filmed the shot. So here we are inside of DaVinci Resolve, and the reason I'm inside of DaVinci Resolve is because we filmed this raw in 2.5K RAW with the Blackmagic cinema camera, and so I needed to debayer the footage and get it into a usable codec for this tutorial, so I exported it to H.264 out of DaVinci. So we're just going to preview the raw file. So this is the first shot that we filmed on set. So this is the actor. We had him dressed up in his prison break uniform, and we basically just timed everything.
Actually, let's redo that one. Sorry, that's my fault.
So we just had him have his hands up.
Action. He's in front of you.
And I just directed him on when to turn around.
And 1, he's walking on your side. 2, 3,
And hold it. 4. Okay, so that one was good. Now we're... And this is the original shot that we referenced to. And okay, what's your set? Yep, he blew his line on that one. So essentially what you're seeing is he says his line and he is acting to no one being there. And this was a bit tricky, and we're going to have to fix this in post, although I hate saying that word, because since we did not have a stand-in or somebody here to kind of help guide him, he undershot his rotation. So the main actor was standing about here in this vicinity, and when he walks around, he does not walk around far enough. So right now he's kind of overlapping him. So unfortunately, we're going to have to take this guy and shift him over once we get into After Effects, but you kind of get the whole point. So we had him here and we had him here, and he says his line. And that's that. And we got that nice cheeky smile. And so this is what we have inside of After Effects. That's not color graded. And so let's go on ahead and create a new composition and get started on this guy. Okay, so I just went on ahead and imported the 3 elements into our After Effects composition. So we have the 2 shots that I explained earlier, and I have a camera shake shot. And I'll mention what that does later on down the line in the tutorial. We have these 2 shots, and like I said, this is going to be a lot of just rotoscoping work, because I already told you in the beginning what you have to do to get this done. It's just you just kind of have to use your brain to figure out where to rotoscope and where not to rotoscope. So we're just going to go ahead and import this shot in here. And let's see, let's scale this down. Actually, let's just do transform, fit to comp. And let's go ahead and start timing this up. And Alt close bracket to create our out point. And we were going ahead and go into our second shot. Just bring that, right click, transform, fit to comp. So now if we lower our opacity, which I just hit T on the keyboard to bring up our opacity, if we lower it, we can see there's a slight shift in the frame. See, it's kind of shifted a little bit. I don't know what we did, probably me being dumb. I probably moved the camera. So I'm just gonna go ahead and move this over just a little bit so they match. Let's see what we got. Okay, perfect. So they're virtually the same now, basically. So let's see what we're dealing with. Now we get to do the fun part of lining up their performances. We might even bring that. So we might even move that there. So bear with me, guys. This is just going to be a lot of timing. So if I don't have much to say, just know that I'm thinking a lot of stuff, if that makes you feel better. So really cool. And that's not completely timed right, but we could try to wing this. Let's see. Yep, and we can already see our eye line is off. So he should be looking at him right now, but he's actually looking right into the camera. So we're all sorts of messed up here. I just did a bad job directing these guys. So let's see what we got. Looks good. Turns around. Looks good, looks good. And it looks pretty good. So now, guys, that's the end of the tutorial. Just kidding. Sort of kidding. My jokes aren't funny. So let's turn this up. So now it's the fun part. We get to do a whole lot of rotoscoping, which I'm not going to actually do in front of you guys because nobody would want to sit through that. So I'm just going to explain to you guys what you have to do, and I'll get started on it, and then that'll just essentially teach you guys how to do it, because I don't need to actually show you guys how to rotoscope because you guys probably already know how to do that. The first thing we need to do is rotoscope this guy. We'll call him Actor A, call him Actor B. So Actor A needs to be rotoscoped because he's the first one to walk in front of Actor B. So we need to cut him out frame by frame. And then once he crosses over him in this area, then we'll stop rotoscoping him and we'll start rotoscoping him, because then he needs to be in front of him. So it's almost like a double rotoscope or dual rotoscope. So we roto him out first because he's in front of him. And then once he goes behind him, we'll switch it to him and then we'll start rotoscoping him. So then he can go behind him. if that makes any sense. And let's go ahead and get started. So we're gonna hit this. We're gonna highlight everything. Oh, and I forgot to mention this shot took me like 2 days to do. So there's that. If you guys thought this was gonna be fun, you got another thing coming. Oh wait, frame rate mismatch, best roto results, blah, 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 blah. Sorry. Okay, so I just realized that the frame rate is off. So I'll just go into the composition, change this from 23 to 24 to match the source, because I guess RotoBrush needs you to do that. We'll cater to RotoBrush because it's doing the hard work for us. So we'll go ahead and set that. That's really nice. And if the shot looks different from you guys, that's because I just added a quick S-curve into that just to kind of help out RotoBrush in its processing and its propagation. So,
but one thing I'll say is back in the day, I think it was Adobe After Effects CS3 and before, you would have to rotoscope it by hand. You'd have to get the pen tool, create a matte, and it would take a long time. Now things are so much more simple. You have Adobe RotoBrush, which is a lifesaver. So even if you don't own a green screen or a blue screen, you can still achieve this effect using RotoBrush. Granted, RotoBrush still takes a long time. It's not a complete amazing, you just hit the button and it does it for you automatically. You still need to go through and roto it, but the computer does a good job with its algorithm and separating the background from the foreground, especially if you have a pretty good camera, which almost everybody does these days, with a good amount of, with not that much depth of field, a good amount of color contrast. You can easily do an automated RotoBrush, and that doesn't make sense. Automated RotoBrush, whatever, cut this. Anyways, you could just do it that way and it'll make your life a whole lot easier. So let's see. Let's wait till he's like right here. I think that's about as good as we're gonna get it. Yep, that's perfect. Now, basically the rest of this tutorial is doing the boring stuff, which is rotoscoping. But luckily for Adobe, in all their glory, they figured out how to do, what's it called? RotoBrush, which is, oh my god, it's amazing. I don't know what I'd do without it. So we're gonna need to start over here. None of this though. We don't want any of that crap. So, now we're going to go forward. This may take a while. We're losing some of him. This is very rough, guys. If this was the final project, this wouldn't be acceptable. Basically gonna be pretty easy from here, because there's a high contrast from his skin tones to the wall, to the gun, to the wall. And this is the most imperative part. We want to make sure that everything goes smoothly from right here, because this is where the clone is going to be. So next frame, just going to cross him over. Now here, go to Effect, Matte, Refine Matte, get some of the edges nice, like right up in there. Smooth, feather it just a touch. Smooth it to like 2.3, 4. 2.4. All this extra stuff just to make it look fancy. You know, that's kind of your own thing that you can work on. And for this part, you want to duplicate the layer, or the footage, and delete RotoBrush and Refine Matte. And we're going to mask here, 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 here. And move that under this. We'll name this Rotode. No, that's not even how you spell it. Rotode. So for now, let's see what we got. Just walking over.
No! It can't be me!
Don't act surprised to see me. You knew I was gonna be out here.
Vladimir, I thought I got rid of you for good.
Okay, so what you just saw is a quick clip from one of my old short films called Endless Crime, and it's basically about a guy who is arresting himself. So he realizes that the person that he's about to arrest is actually himself. What we're going to be looking at is how to do this shot. So he reveals who he is, and then the camera pans, we have the lens flare, to reveal that that's him. And what we did is we stitched him in there and we did a 3D camera track, and then we reveal that it's actually him. We just filmed where he would be, and essentially what I did is I just filmed that shot for about 10 seconds, and then I carried on with the camera move and panned towards this actor. So, and I made sure to add camera shake just to sell the effect. So we could just pretend like he's talking. And then the camera does the move, and he says his line. And so what we're going to go ahead and do is set our out point and make sure we have enough room, set our in point, and we're going to go on ahead and bring that into a new composition. Perfect. And in case if you guys noticed, we shot this on the Blackmagic cinema camera, and we do have that black dot. Normally inside of DaVinci Resolve I would have fixed that, but maybe at the end of the tutorial we'll fix that. We'll see. We'll see if we have time. And so what we're going to go ahead and do is bring in the second shot where, not this one, we want this one. So what we did again is we filmed him standing right where he's supposed to be, but this time he's locked off on a tripod. So what this enables us to do is get a clean shot or a clean plate of just him standing there with no camera movement. So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to take out, or we're going to mask around him, and then we're going to stitch that back over where he should be in the original shot. So we're just going to wait for him to say his line, set our in point. He says his line. He stands there, and set our out point. And then we're going to bring that into this composition. And we're just going to name this shot with actor dude. And we'll name this the main shot. So the first thing I'm going to do is figure out, am I going to do this with a 3D camera track, or if I'm going to do this and if I'm going to import this footage into Mocha and do a track through Mocha. And to be honest, I did not run through this tutorial before I started recording, so I'm actually going to, we'll see. And I haven't worked on this film in over a year, so I don't remember what I did in the past. So let's see, we'll figure this out. I'm kind of running through this for the first time. So if I make any mistakes, you guys are going to witness it. Let's see, 3D camera track or Mocha? Let's do Mocha. Let's try to track this inside of Mocha. So we'll hit animation, go to track in Mocha AE. We'll let that load up. Make sure everything is set. Perfect. So I'm just going to go on ahead and draw this right here. And I kind of want to make sure I get where there's, I just want to create this where there's the most texture, because that'll result in a better track, obviously. So when we were filming this, we made sure that he standard.
Anyways, guys, I hope you were able to learn some good insight on this tutorial on how to do cloning effects. Again, if you guys want the in-depth tutorials, I have that all on my channel, all in the link in the description below. But anyways, that's about it. Cloning is one of the easiest things that you guys can do, right next to throwing like a checkerboard dissolve crossfade inside of Premiere. It's actually very easy. I started doing it in the 6th grade, and it's one of the funnest effects you can do. In this movie, Us did it perfectly, along with many other movies too, but Us is a pretty good one. Anyways, my name is Justin Melson with Happy Fox Productions. Feel free to follow me on social media if you would like, and if you guys have tutorial requests or just anything that you would like to see on this channel, feel free to leave a comment down below. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.